Hello and welcome to Odds on Euro Qualifiers Match Day 6. We are going to analyze the games on Sunday with Fisichella, with Alvaro Romeo. Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. We just watched the fifth match day of these groups on Thursday, so we have a lot of material to talk about. Remember to follow the video with us, to ask any question, to Fisichella, to Alvaro Romeo, and of course, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. Also, remember that we have a special offer with 1xBet. You can get a welcome bonus of 130%. This is more than the usual one. Just type the promo code Oddspedia YouTube and you have the link in the description to register with this operator. So let's analyze the games, some interesting ones, I must say, and we are going to start with the early kickoff. This is Finland, Denmark. Obviously, it's cold up there in Finland, so they have to play quite early, and this is an Scandinavian clash with Finland grabbing the victory against Kazakhstan in the last 20 minutes, 1-0. They are topping the group with 12 points. Denmark, as expected, Danny, they thrashed San Marino 4-0 in second gear, I would say, because they were defeated by Kazakhstan and they drew with Slovenia away. This is a key game for them.
Yeah, it is a key game for Denmark, who lost 2 of the last 3 away home games, including, of course, the one you mentioned against Azerbaijan. But, you know, the recent form has been a little bit unpredictable, because if you look at the Nations League group, they won in France and they won in Austria. And, you know, the win against San Marino was very easy, 4-0, 3 goals in the first half. They settled everything. Interesting enough, Højlund didn't start this one. Scored 6 goals in 6 games so far. Well, 6 goals in 7, of course, because he came on the second half for Denmark. If you look at the Denmark side, it's a lot of experience there at the back, the likes of Simon Kjær, Pjelmir Højbjerg. So the defense at the back is very, very experienced. Of course, Kasper Schmeichel as well. So I think it's the right mix for them. They normally do really well in the qualifiers, and now they travel to Finland, who are unbeaten in 5 games. They lost the reverse fixtures 3-1, as you mentioned, and I think if we'll talk about weak sides later on into this program, there are a couple of weak teams that we will analyze. But if you look at Finland, one thing for sure they have is goal scorers. They do have players who can stick the ball in the back of the net, and you know, up front they got 2 absolute cult heroes. If one is, you know, used to play where I live, Timo Pukki used to play for Norwich, now plays in the MLS, scores, you know, he's a goal scorer, and the international level with Finland has done well. And the other one, more up and coming, that I think you're going to hear more about this guy, it's Poyampalo. He scored 19 goals for Venezia last season in Serie B, 2 already this season. And, you know, with those 2 up front, I think Finland will have a chance against most of the teams. They finished second in the Nations League group behind Bosnia. 3 wins at home in the last 7. World Cup qualifiers did okay, but lost at home to France and Ukraine. Let's see, maybe they might have a chance here. I don't know. Maybe this is the kind of game that Denmark wins comfortably, low-scoring game. We know that Finland doesn't score many goals overall. So I'm going to go for a Denmark win combined with under 3.5 goals to 25.
Well, Finland, they've only conceded goals against Denmark in these qualifications to the Euros. I thought, Danny, you were going to mention Jari Litmanen, the best Finnish player ever. Alvaro, Denmark, we have Arya asking if do you think teams will come with most of their main players. Denmark played in second year against San Marino. To play this game, they should put an effort if they want to win.
Yeah, I don't see why not, really. I think that yes, they will play with the preferred lineup. And against San Marino the other day, They beat them 4-0. It's true that Hoxlund wasn't there on the pitch, at least in the first half, but then he played a little bit. But I was very puzzled about the quality of the goals of Denmark. I mean, they weren't just scrappy goals that you score in a corner kick. I mean, all those goals were quality goals from players who know how to do a 1-2, from players who know how to dribble past the goalkeeper. And they were loitering basically around the edge of the box of San Marino until they found their chance and they won comfortably. And I think, yes, this game is so important for for Denmark, that they will definitely play the best team, because Finland is topping the group, and they are topping the group after they got a top win in Kazakhstan. I mean, that win reshapes the group a little bit, because now Kazakhstan is still a candidate to qualify, but no longer one of the favorites to qualify, at least according to the table. It was a clean sheet for Hradecki as well in Kazakhstan, a goal for Oliver Ardmand, a player who is funny because in club level he doesn't score many goals. He plays for North Island, but playing for Finland, he has scored 5 goals in 7 caps, which is pretty incredible. And let's see how Pukki can do in this game as well. His scoring ratio with Finland is pretty good, 0.34. To score a total of 38 goals with Finland, with the shirt. But this game, I think that Denmark are going to impose their quality. I think that they are better and they have to win. I think that this is a chance for Denmark actually to get the top of the group and to climb to the first spot. So I will say that I'm going to back Denmark here. Denmark to win 175. And if you go for the individual market, maybe Rasmus Højlund to score. I think that he's going to start this time, even though he has got back issues all across August. I think that he can start here. But yeah, I'm more than happy with the 175 for Denmark to win.
In this group, we have also Kazakhstan and Northern Ireland. If Kazakhstan win, they are still in the race. Slovenia, they beat Northern Ireland, is the other team that they are fighting to qualify. They are playing in San Marino, so we should take these 3 points for granted for Slovenia. So it's going to be an interesting fight in Group H. We move on to the next group, Group G, with Montenegro and Bulgaria. Is the game that we've chosen because the odds are quite good, actually. Even if you fancy Montenegro, the favorites odds are around 1.9 for them to win. But we saw, Alvaro, a lot of goals actually in the Lithuania-Montenegro. It was a thriller in the last 20 minutes. At the end, Montenegro only got 1 point because Lithuania scored a great goal from outside the box in the very last minute. They are winless in the last 4, but Montenegro, they are facing the weakest team in this group, Bulgaria, especially when they play away.
Yeah, I'm going to back Montenegro for that reason. It was obviously very disappointing for them to lose the lead at Lithuania on the 94th minute. But anyway, I think that this game is for them, for Montenegro. Bulgaria is, going through a rough patch, that's for sure, because they haven't played any major tournament since 2004. They were second in the last Nations League group. Georgia topped that group, so we can say that more or less that's their level right now. I think that they've got a number of players who are all right, like Kirill Despodov, the player for PAOK Thessaloniki. He's a good footballer. In the Nations League, he scored 3 goals, I believe. Ilian Stefanov, he scored 2 in the Nations League as well. But this is a different story completely. And Montenegro has better players. I mean, the likes of, for example, the scorers of yesterday, Savic and Kristovic, they are really good footballers. Probably Savic is the best footballer they've got, the Atletico de Madrid defender. But Kristovic is a player who has a record for Lecce this season, by the way. He's the first player who scores in his first 2 games for the club. Yep. He scored against Fiorentina, he scored against Salernitana, he scored the other day against Lithuania. He's going through a good moment. Dukanovic is one of the best players they've got, 19 years old, 8 goals in the Swedish league. Jovetic, he's old, right now. Let's agree on that, of course. But at the same time, I think that he has found the right club to sign, at least for one more year. He signed for a year with Olympiacos a couple of days ago. And I think that, a player who has scored 31 goals for Montenegro all across history, he can have an impact in this game against Bulgaria too. So I think that the quality of the players for Montenegro plus how poor Bulgaria has been away from home sent me in the way of backing Montenegro, with Montenegro to win 184, or even more so, I will say that a win 2-0 to Montenegro, because Bulgaria is not scoring a lot of goals, 2-6-3-3 would be as far as I can go. But I'm more than happy to stay with the home side winning.
Savic scoring from a corner kick, a scrappy goal. Danny, how you see it, this game? Also, Montenegro really favorite, especially because it's hard to trust this Bulgaria away. At home, they are more dangerous.
Very similar to what Alvaro said, really. This is a must-win for Montenegro because Serbia's defeat yesterday against Hungary gives them a little bit of hope. They are with 5 points, Serbia with 7. If they leapfrog them, then they will be qualified for the Euros. It's unlikely they will be qualified if they finish third, because in their Nations League group, they finish behind Finland. So really, too many combinations for them not to qualify directly. They only won one of the last 7, Montenegro, though. 1-0 against Bulgaria recently. And yes, we mentioned the good players they have, but the concern I have, they got equalized by Lithuania, who was one of the worst teams in Europe, and they conceded 2 goals, especially the one very, very late, which, by the way, ruined my ACCA. So, I got some concern. That's why I don't back them fully. However, only 1 goal in the last 4 games at home from Montenegro, but back in 2021, they managed to score 2 against Romania, 2 against Netherlands. They're a little bit unpredictable. Bulgaria, in the last qualifiers game, I think they were unlucky against Serbia. They were winning 1-0. They were playing well, and then Lazovic scored in the 89th minutes. They lost against Iran yesterday, and they are winless in 5 games. Yes, I mean, the quality of the Bulgarian team is not high. I mean, most of them, they play in Bulgaria. Nothing to no disrespect to that. But if you look at the team that qualified for the Euro 2004, the likes of Berbatov, the Petrov brothers, etc., was completely different team. As I said, I don't back Montenegro fully, but I like the over 2 goals market, 195. It's a bit of a parachute. If there are only 2 goals in the game, you get your money back. More than 2 goals, you win, because those 2 sides are not very high scoring sides.
We saw 3 surprises on Thursday: the draw in Lithuania, Hungary beating Serbia, and also the draw against between Czech Republic and Albania. And we stay in this group because we have to talk about Serbia, the ones that lost at home against Hungary, as someone mentioned in the comment. It was not behind closed doors, but some parts of the stadium were close to the supporters. And even if they took the lead against Hungary, they ended up losing. That's why they have to beat Lithuania, a team that got that equalizer, great goal, Danny, in the very last minute. And it was very important for them. You only have to see how they celebrated that draw against Montenegro.
I mean, for a team like Lithuania that is winless in 13 games, yeah, it felt like a victory. Lithuania, in the last 3 years, they've only won 3 games: against Kazakhstan, against Bulgaria, that tells you how bad Bulgaria are, and against San Marino. So it's one of the worst side in European football. Well, if this was a basketball game, it would have been obviously much more entertaining, Lithuania-Serbia. But being a football game, it's very, very one-sided. That's why Lithuania's odds are 10. Now, in the world, in the FIFA ranking, Lithuania are ranked 144th. They are just below Suriname and above St. Kitts and Nevis. Serbia, by the way, are 25th. So there is such a big gulf in class. Serbia won the reverse fixtures 2-0. But yes, Lithuania managed to get this lucky draw against Montenegro. And Serbia, by the way, very disappointing the performance at home. They confirm the problems that we highlighted in the previous video. They got problems at the back. That back 3, with Gudeli also playing as a center backs and Pavlovic, doesn't really do the job. And another they conceded 2 goals from 2 mistakes from the goalkeeper Milinkovic-Savic, who plays for Torino. I always have reservations about him. I don't think he's a top-class goalkeeper. And they missed also a lot of chances. Vlahovic produced the own goal. He missed it, but then he was an own goal from Salah, but missed a couple of chances too. Bad performance from Kostic. They looked uninspired and a little bit fragile. They cannot afford to lose this one, really, Serbia. Only 2 clean sheets in the last 9 for the visitors. I think they're gonna win, and I think they're gonna win comfortably. Despite, I think they still got issues with the formation. Serbia to score in both halves here, 191.
Probably it's not a great game to bet, I have to say, because the odds are very low for Serbia, and Serbia, they are not very reliable right now. We saw in the starting 11 Alvaro, Mitrovic and Milinkovic-Savic, both in the Arabian League, Saudi Arabian League, but they played in the starting 11 for Serbia.
Yes, I think that we're going to get used to that. I don't say fortunately or unfortunately, it's the way it goes. And many players who are there in Saudi Arabia are so good that when they are back international sides, they play. And it will happen a lot, really. I wonder what's going to happen with some footballers like Gabri Veiga, for example, who departed to Arabia, and at the same time, he has never earned himself a cap, because it's easier to keep on calling a player who already had caps than calling someone you have never called before just because he's having good performances in Arabia. But those who already play for the national sides, if they have departed to Arabia, I don't think that's going to be a massive thing for the managers at the time of picking them. Yeah, this game is very interesting, actually. I'm going to back Serbia, of course, because I think that they can come back after the disappointing result against Hungary. Totally agree with Daniele. The goalkeeper didn't make a favor to himself in that game, Milinkovic-Savic. Then the quality up front is there. I mean, with Mitrovic, with Vlahovic, I really like those strikers. I really do. They are the textbook number 9s. I think that Vlahovic is going to be a better footballer overall than Mitrovic. And Dusan Tadic, who is still, going on. He's quite a veteran player, but I think that he can also add the spark to that team. So, they've got the elements and the ingredients to qualify for these Euros without any sort of issue. But Serbia is incapable of just adding up good results to their bag. Normally, they've got like a bad result in them every 2 or 3 games, which stops them a lot, really. Look at Lithuania, on the other hand. They are a very poor side right now. They have scored only 3 goals in these qualifiers, coming from 3 different scorers until yesterday. Edvinas Diervainis was the only player who could score a goal for Lithuania in this qualifier. But, I'm going to take what happened to Serbia independently. I think that the game against Hungary is the best game in the group for sure. Hungary, in fact, they have only lost one of their last 11 games, so it's not easy to play against them at the minute. I think that Serbia was facing a tough opponent, not one of the toughest in Europe, but at that second level of European football is one of the good sides. So I'm going to back Serbia here. I really think that they can make it here. So over 1.5 goals in the second half, 185, that would be my first pick. And Serbia to win, and over 2.5 goals, 180. Those would be my 2 picks.
And if you haven't watched that late goal scored by Lithuania, go after watching this video and check it out, because it's a great goal, probably the goal of the life of the footballer. And if Alvaro is enthusiastic about this Lithuania-Serbia, probably is even more interested in the next one, because it's Albania-Poland. This is in Group E, and we saw again a really poor Poland. Their first goal against Faroe Island came in the 70th minute with a penalty scored by Lewandowski. The second goal, by the way, is a good one. And Poland, they lost to Moldavia, to Czech Republic, playing away. So here, after seeing Albania getting a point in the Czech Republic, Alvaro, perhaps we see a disappointment, and Albania, they are the underdogs for this game.
Yes, they are. Thanks to Poland, by the way, because thanks to them, I got my ACCA. I needed them to score 2 goals in the second half, and they did. It was difficult, don't you think? Fortunately, they've got a player whose name is Robert Lewandowski, and he scored the brace, and he won the game for them.
The cheerleaders.
Keep it up.
Yeah. Again, please. I haven't heard it enough. Good one. I like that. And thanks to Hungary, by the way, because a draw no bet of 375 gave me some good money too. But yeah, Poland. They are in a funny moment, that team right now, because on the other hand, things are not working on the pitch. On the one hand, for example, they lost to Moldova 3-2 this year, which is something that resonated a lot against among Polish media. And then there is a funny thing. I don't know if you have heard about that, but Gregor Krychowiak, you know him. He played for Sevilla, PSG. And the doctor of the national side, Jacek Jaroszewski, they have accused each other of fraud because they started a medical company and that didn't work. And they fight with each other, basically. I don't know if physically, but definitely they had like a verbal fight between them. And Krychowiak now is back in the national side. In fact, he started the other day, but maybe the atmosphere in the camp is not good because these two are having a judicial process. So it's pretty funny how it goes there in the Polish national side. Look, they beat Faroe Island 2-0 with a brace from Leva. It's not a bad moment for Poland, really, because they have qualified for the last international 4 tournaments, which is a success by Polish standards. And in great part is thanks to Lewandowski. He has scored 81 goals with Poland. The other day, the second goal was very nice. It's true that he had a lot of time inside the box to do what he did, but on the other hand, you have to be Robert Lewandowski to score that goal. And when it comes to Albania, well, this is the funny side. I'm going to back Albania here because they got 7 points after 4 games, which is not bad. The last time they qualified for a Euro was in 2016. They've got players who are interesting, like for example, Nedim Bakrami, the player from Sassuolo. He scored the goal in Czech Republic the other day. Difficult result. They got a draw against the Czech Republic. Fantastic.
Beautiful goal.
Then Mirto Urzuni, for example, the player who was the top scorer of La Liga second division last year. He's doing well at Granada. He has scored already 1 goal for Granada. He doesn't start for Albania because they've got some good players up front. Then they've got a player that I haven't seen a lot of, but I'm curious about him, and hopefully Daniele will explain to me later how good he is. Christian Aslani from Inter. And then we've got El Said Hisak from Lazio. I mean, the other day he was in the win against Napoli. He played 81 minutes in that game. I know that he had some issues with his Achilles in August, but he played against the Czech Republic and he played well as well. So Albania is a good side at the minute. Poland is going through a crisis. The scoreline of 2-0 against Faroe Island, in my opinion, is totally unconvincing. And I'm going to back Albania with a double chance for them, 170.
I like it.
Nice. Danny, you also wake up and read the Polish newspapers like Alvaro does?
No, I haven't read the Gazeta Wyborcza today, but I should catch it up. I'm just wondering what kind of conversation Krychowiak and the doctor have at dinner time, whether they need to be sat into different tables, considering their legal issues.
Yes.
They're not sitting together, of course.
No.
If Krychowiak need an aspirin, he probably goes and buy in a pharmacy. Anyway, the Albanian, just to reply to you, Alvaro, I think that the Albania national side have got a lot of technical players. And to come back on Aslani, we haven't seen him much at Inter because he was blocked by Brozovic and Çalhanoğlu last season, but Inter got rid of Brozovic this summer, and Aslani should be the replacement for Çalhanoğlu, the holding midfielder. Is clearly very technical. He is very young. He only's got a season and a half in Serie A under his belt with Empoli, but he's a player that obviously Inter counts on. That's why they're giving him more chance. We need to see him playing a little bit more, but obviously with Albania does play, and Albania's got a lot of players who play in Serie A. You mentioned a few, but there is also Berisha, Jim City, Ramadan is having a good season with Lecce. So they are technical. They are a side that can keep the ball well. They are unbeaten in 3 games at home. Against Czech Republic, it was a little bit of a smash and grab result. 1 shot, 1 goal. They don't score many goals. That's the problem of Albania. They don't have a goal scorer. 10 of the last 13 games they played have been under 2.5 goals. They've only scored 6 in the last 8 games. And they have a bad record against Poland. They lost their reverse fixtures 1-0. In the World Cup qualifiers, they lost 4-1 and 1-0 at home in the game. It was full of trouble and had to be suspended. But if I look at the two sides, I am more optimistic about Albania than Poland. Poland, for me, it's amongst the medium top size in Europe, one of the worst. They have got Lewandowski. They have got a good collective, but they never seem to pull it together and play well. Honestly, at the World Cup, about from all the
Horrible.
teams that, yeah, they were embarrassing. The way they qualified, it was embarrassing. And yeah, from all the teams that qualified in the round of 16, I think they were one of the worst. Now with Fernando Santos in charge, plenty of experience, but I mean,
that's the problem.
He doesn't really say we're gonna go out and attack, we're gonna go out and smash you and score 3 goals.
And there is another thing that the best players they've got, in my opinion, they are either scorers or defensive midfielders.
Yes.
But they are lacking a lot of spark. They haven't had a very creative player for a long time, because look at Zielinski. I really like that player. He plays for Napoli, but he cannot be the creator in midfield.
He runs into the box. He can finish. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if you look at the back, the best player they got is Matti Cash. Good left back, solid in the Premier League. But again, yeah, they do lack that
right back.
Right back. Yeah. They do like that spark. Recently, they beat Germany 1-0 in the friendly. So you say, wow, that's great. One shot on target in that game. Germany at 26 and 76% possession for Germany. You mentioned the defeat against Moldova, lost to Czech Republic 3-1 in similar fashion. Even if they keep the ball a lot, they can't really score. They cannot really make it count. I like the Asian handicap 1x for Albania, but I'm going to combine it with under 3.5 goals. I don't think these teams have got a lot of goal scorers. So let's say if Albania wins it 2-1, or if a 1-1, you win very well. You double your stake.
So you are both backing Albania. Tell me in the comment section if you are also backing Albania, that they come as the underdog for this game, and probably the odds should be much more leveled. And for the last game, we are going to the Group B. Probably is the most interesting game. We have on Sunday, Ireland, Netherlands, with Ireland losing against France as we expected. Professional performance by France, as we always say. They've only got one victory, Danny, Ireland, against Gibraltar, but even France suffered to get the 3 points out of Dublin. Tell me if you were convinced by the Dutch victory against Greece, scoring the 3 goals in the first half.
I was very comfortable win by Netherlands. First goal in the first half. 3 assists from Denzel Dumfries from Inter, who looks like a new player this season. They are level with Greece now, Netherlands, but with one game in hand. So their qualifiers are back in track. Let's not forget they won their Nations League group, so they will be in the playoff regardless. The first goal in the national team for Martin de Roon. So even without Memphis Depay, they managed to create enough chances and put the game to bed. By the way, that for Netherlands was the first clean sheet in 7 games, if we exclude the game against Gibraltar. So let's see how they fare against top sides. But I don't think they're going to be troubled by Ireland. Because Ireland are without Ian Ferguson, who picked up an injury, and missing him against France depleted their attack so much, and they had basically no chance from the start. It's a big blow. At home, Ireland only lost 1 game of the last 5, and that was 1-0 defeat against France, where Mike Maignan had to make some amazing saves, but I think they're going to struggle this one. Also because they are without Obafemi, Parrott, Robinson, Johnston. So really, they haven't got a lot of attacking options there. Only had 1 chance in the second half against France, saved by Maignan. 3rd defeat in the last 4 games for Ireland, who I think are out of the World Cup qualifiers. Probably Stephen Kenny is going to go at the end of this round of fixtures. Maybe it's a little bit unjust. The group is very young. There's a lot of players that he coached in the under 21, so they might need a little time to develop. For me, Netherlands here wins fairly comfortably, and I'm going to go for an Asian handicap minus 0.75 for the Dutch 190, which means if they win only by 1 goal margin, you win half a stake. More than a 1 goal margin, you win 190.
And they must win, because Greece, they are playing against Gibraltar, and then Alvaro, Netherlands, they are facing France and Greece in Greek soil.
Yeah, well, the result yesterday was very important for the Netherlands. They needed a win after a disappointing Nations League. We spoke about that in the previous show, but Ronald Koeman admitted after the Nations League that he wasn't capable of, or he hadn't been capable of passing on his message to the players. And this is one of the most critical assumptions a manager can do. The Netherlands needed a win. They got it, scoring 3 goals in the first half. Xavi Simons didn't score, but again, he did a couple of solo runs that they were very impressive. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting Xavi Simons to be this good at this age because, you know, in his first year at PSG, he struggled. It's true that he was having a very peripheral role, but then he moved to the Netherlands. He got his best form there, and now he's playing football very well with a lot of confidence. Him to score in this game, by the way, pays 3.4. Cody Gakpo to score in this game, 288. Look, they are the true number 10s of the national side. I think that they can score more goals even than Wout Weghorst, the nominal number 9, because Weghorst is not a great scorer. So, you know, maybe going for the individual market in this game can be an interesting thing for you. But yeah, as I said before, the most important thing for the Netherlands is that they reclaim the second spot. At home, they scored many goals. Away is not the same story. But still, it was good to see Flecken, the Brentford goalkeeper, just keeping a clean sheet. And when it comes to Ireland, 3 defeats in 4 games. France have 25 shots. 25 shots. And it's true that Ireland could have scored 1, at least, if it wasn't for Magnan, because I think that it was Ogbene who had a very good chance with a header inside the box, and Magnan did a great save. But, you know, if you concede 25 shots against France, it doesn't matter that it's France. That's quite a lot. 5 of them were on target, not many, but still, France was attacking, and I don't think that they even did their 100 or put their 100% on the pitch. Ivan Ferguson being out, obviously, is a massive loss for Ireland. So I'm going to go for the Asian handicap minus 0.75 for the Netherlands is very nice. I like it, as Daniele said, 190, just to change a little bit the conversation. Maybe Netherlands to score over 1.5 goals, 173. That can be a good one too. I like this one. Or otherwise, my favorite here will be Netherlands to win and over 1.5 goals in that game. Altogether, 191.
Netherlands to win actually pays kind of good, I would say, for the level Ireland is showing lately. Great goal, by the way, scored by Tchouaméni in that game, France-Ireland. Well, these are the most interesting games that we have on Sunday. Alvaro, let's go with your safe bet.
Of course, it will be an Asian handicap of minus 2.25 for Slovenia, 143.
Okay, Slovenia, they are playing against San Marino. We have to remember if someone is scared about this bet. And Danny?
The same is the Olimpico Serravalle, tough place to go in San Marino, but I'm gonna go one up than Alvaro. Slovenia is running at minus 2.5 against San Marino, so they need to win by 3 goals margin, 160.
I was wondering how old is the San Marino goalkeeper, because I was watching the highlights and he looked very old, and in that, especially in that fourth goal conceded, it looked a bit clumsy. And Danny, your ACCA?
Kazakhstan, Northern Ireland, double chance, 1x. Faroe Island, Asian handicap 0 against Moldova. Greece to win both halves against Gibraltar. And Serbia, Asian handicap -1. They play away against the mighty Lithuania, 422.
So you are trusting Faroe Island?
Asian handicap 0. But Faroe Island football is on the up. They got 2 teams in Europe this season. They play at home against Moldova. Not an easy place to go. Yeah, I mean, if they don't win, you get your money back. But, you know, I think they can do it.
At least has to be kind of warm at this time of the year.
They'll be 10 degrees. They'll be 10 degrees probably. Yeah. Right.
And you, Alvaro?
Before I say my ACCA very quickly, individual markets are interesting. When they are available, go for them as well if you like. Sesko to score for Slovenia, Bakasetas to score for Greece. Those things can make sense this time. But anyway, my ACCA will be as follows. Greece, Gibraltar, over 1.5 goals in the second half. San Marino, Slovenia, over 1.5 goals in the second half. Asian handicap minus 2.25 for Slovenia. Asian handicap minus 0.25 for the Netherlands. Altogether, 472.
Wow. Well, you have to watch then the San Marino Slovenia if you are backing your safe bets and your ACCA. Pay attention to that game. Thank you, Danny. Thanks, Alvaro, for doing this video with us. We still have one video remaining for this Euro qualifiers. It will be on Monday. Until then, enjoy the weekend and don't forget to press the like and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.